In the Kingdom of Fools by A.K. Ramanujam. A.K. Ramanujam was the Indian poet and scholar of Indian literature who wrote both in English and Kannada. Ramanujam was a poet, scholar, philologist, folklorist, translator, and playwright. His academic research ranged across 5 languages: English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and Sanskrit. He published works on both classical and modern variants of this literature and argued strongly for giving local, non-standard dialects of their use. Though he wrote widely and in a number of genres, Ramanujam's poems are remembered as enigmatic works of startling originality, sophistication, and moving artistry. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award posthumously in 1999 for his collection of poems, The Collected Poems. Now the theme of this story is: wisdom is worshipped everywhere. When foolishness is our greatest enemy, with the help of wisdom, we can make a difference between right and wrong. When our life is in troubles, we can fight with them and make our ways with the power of wisdom. It lives with us and never dies, even if we leave this world. Obviously, the wise people are worshipped everywhere. The main characters: the king, a foolish ruler who has executed himself; the minister, the foolish advisor to the king who agrees with everything that the king proposes; the guru, a wise, resourceful person with magical powers who becomes king through his wisdom; the disciple, a greedy and short-sighted person who remembers his guru in time of need. So a short summary of this chapter is: In the Kingdom of Fools is a story by A.K. Ramanujam. The story highlights the fact that in a kingdom of fools, people's lives can be danger, as the king and his ministers were brainless and did not do things in a normal manner. It's a place where everything is in reverse and justice is not given. A guru and his disciple visit this place, get involved in some matters, but finally, with guru's wisdom, king and his ministers get executed by their own orders. Normalcy is restored in the city after their death. The people choose guru as king and his disciple as their minister. Let's now move on to the story. Page number 19. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. They didn't want to run things like other kings. So they decided to change my night into day and day into night. They ordered that everyone should awake at night, till their fields and run their businesses only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. The people did as they were told for fear of death. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Everyone was asleep, not a mouse stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same, a single dudu. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a dudu. The guru and his disciple were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. So what you heard from this para is that the king and his minister in the Kingdom of Fools were stupid. They ordered that night should be treated as day and all the people should work at that time. They should go to bed as soon as the day broke. The orders were followed by the people under the fear of being put to death if not followed. This delighted the king and his minister. Once a guru and his disciple came to this particular kingdom during the day, finding it beautiful but totally deserted. Everyone, including the animals, was asleep. They were tired and hungry but could not get anything to eat till the evening, when the whole place woke up and came to life. When the guru and disciple bought some food items, they surprisingly found that everything, whether it was a bunch of bananas or a measure of rice, cost the same, 1 dudu, the local currency. Let's continue with the third paragraph. When they had cooked and eaten, the guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. This is no place for us, let's go, he said to his disciple. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was good, cheap food. The guru said, "They are all fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next." So the wise guru realized that they were in a kingdom of fools and it would not be safe to stay there. So he suggested his disciple that they should leave the place at once. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. The guru finally gave up and said, "Do what you want, I'm going," and left. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street-side sacred bull. So the disciple was fond of food and found it very cheap to stay on, and the guru left. Soon the disciple grew very fat by eating to his fill. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. And as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. His brother ran to the king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good, strong wall. We must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice." The king said, "Justice will be done, don't worry," and at once summoned the owner of the house. So this para says that one day a thief broke into the house of a rich merchant to steal his valuables by breaking a wall. But as he was going out with the stolen stuff, the old wall fell on him and killed him. The brother of the thief complained before the king that the owner of the house was to be blamed for the debt demanded justice. The king heard the case and the merchant was found guilty because his house wall collapsed and killed the thief.